Hello everyone. Today I thought of sharing with you all like top 7 spiritual movies that you could watch so that it will be really beneficial in your spiritual journey. I really mean it because like honestly speaking, I could tell you the effect of these whole movies in the journey, spiritual journey. Like let's say you go and meditate for 500 hours and you watch one of these movies, and if you're watching it very consciously, it could be that there'll be a very similar effect that you meditate for 500 hours and watching one of these movies. No joke, and that much influence it had in my life. I'm talking from my experience, and sometimes I watch a movie and that really hits me very much because I'm a visual learner, so that when I watch something and like visually that really hits me, it's like just transmit the message. So these movies, more than the story, you need to go beyond the story to get the depth that this movie is trying to give. That's the key. Don't get hooked in the story, just go beyond the story and see the depth or the meaning which that gives. Okay, the first one is like I even shared this in my book, like Total Recall 2012, and this is one of the most powerful movies that I watched so far that really changed my life. And in this particular movie, I'm not gonna share with you the whole story, but I will try to tell you the spiritual message that you could get out of this. Like if you take the Total Recall movie, the main actor like was really questioning what is the point of this life, because he's like just a factory worker. So he's just having a conversation with his friend in a bar. Like, what is the point of all this? And just doing the same routine, morning to evening. What is the point of all this? Like, even in my journey, that's how I started my spiritual journey as well. Like, I started asking, what is the point of all this? Like, what's the meaning of this life? And even this the main actor is asking these questions from his friend, and that friend seems to be very satisfied with the structure for some reason, but this one is really questioning everything. And also this main actor come to a place, I'm not going to share the whole story, come to a place where he doesn't know who he is, because of some of the incidents that is happening within the story. He come to a place that he has no idea who he is. Like, I feel like that is the same thing which is happening in this spiritual journey as well. I told you the North Star for this journey is to find out who you are. Just like that, in this movie, that is in a quest of trying to figure out who he is. And that is his whole quest about. And the best part is, he needs to be living in the present moment, fully alert, to get clues in order to figure out who he is. And if he's not being fully present, he would definitely miss out like who he is. Like, he won't be able to get a chance to figure out who he is. And I feel that's exactly the journey that we have it in like, that is the exact spiritual journey that I'm talking about as well. Like, if you take the sense of the whole spirituality, it's about living in the present moment, and that's the only way you can discover who you are, by living in this present moment. So you will get the clues that you require in order to discover who you are. And in the same way, this man like needed to be living in fully alert to get these clues in the present moment. I find it like that's fascinating. So, and the way he gets those clues are very interesting, and you can watch the movie. I'm not going to share the whole story. And also the best part in this movie is there's a particular place that he comes, the main actor. In this particular movie, there's one incident where this main actor comes into a place where he can't really figure out what's his reality is, whether the dream state is his reality or the reality that he's in is his reality. So that is exactly the message that I'm trying to give as well. How do you say that this waking state is not another dream? How would you possibly say that? So that is like a really deep message it tries to give, because there was a particular place that he cannot really figure out what's his reality is. And I think that is very, very powerful. That really hits you, like as to that is the existential truth. Like that is like a real clue for you to figure out this whole truth of life. So that is the first movie. I really, really recommend you to watch this movie, and you might not get the insights that I've got, but still just go on watching that. Like, that's a powerful movie, I could say. And then the second movie, I could say, the first movie is 2012, by the way. I will put all the links in the below description, so that you can check that out. So the second one is What Dreams May Come, which is 1998. So this movie also shows like the illusionary nature of this whole reality, and that's a very powerful movie if you watch that, because in that particular movie the reality, like where he is, the reality starts changing like very much frequently, and that shows how illusionary, like what an illusion is this, like that really shows like this illusion nature of the reality. Sometimes he's in a place where he's like the main character, in a place where it's like a complete hell, and sometimes it looks like more like heaven. So it's all his imagination, and so it's a very interesting movie to realize the illusion nature of our reality. So if you watch that, that is the message, the spiritual message it tries to give. So, and also there's another one emphasis on there, which is to say that you are the creator of this whole world. You yourself is the creator, and that's extremely very much true as well. The best but in reality, even the so-called you itself is an illusion. So when I say the whole thing is the illusion, it's not just the world, but also the person itself is an illusion. That is, the creator itself is an illusion. I hope you understand. I mean, these are very, very deep messages, which trying to keep through these movies, and so I hope you got what I was trying to say. And then the third movie that I would like to suggest is Soul. It's a Disney movie, and it's 2020 it was released. And if someone is looking for the question, what is the meaning of this life, I think this is an ideal movie for you to watch. And my entire spiritual journey started with the question, what is the meaning of this life? You wouldn't be asking this question if you're in a happy place, but if you're in a place which is struggling and having difficulties going through, I'm sure you are asking this question. What is the meaning of this life? And someone who's looking for the meaning of this life, this is an ideal movie to watch. I'm not gonna share the whole story, so watch this, you will understand what is the meaning of this life. It's in reality, it's not about like there's some particular meaning to this life. The meaning is the life itself. You know, most of the people are trying to figure out the meaning, and they miss life itself. You know, in reality, there's no bigger purpose or a meaning. What matters is this very small moments, tiny little moments that is happening throughout our life, and that's what really creates the beauty of this whole life. And it shows in the movie when one character is eating a pizza and how much pleasure he gets, and then like some leaf falling off from a tree, and he's just looking at it now like how beautiful that is, the whole thing. And it's like a dance, you know, so it's so beautiful. Like these are the small moments which really gives meaning to this whole life. And it's like sometimes people go looking for bigger things, they really miss out these small moments in this life. Like, so this is a very beautiful movie if you're looking for that question. I think it would be ideal movie for you to watch. And then the next one, Inception, which was released in 2010. And I think this movie also gives very deeper messages if you really watch it consciously. Like this whole movie is about like the main actor is just like trying to like using a dream, and he's trying to get into another person's dream and plant a seed idea within that person's mind. And it's a whole crime. His intention is to like really sabotage a competitor's company. But that is not, it's not, I told you, like it's not about the story, you know, you need to see beyond this whole beyond the story, and that's how you will get this like the deeper meaning, deeper messages that is given through these movies, you know. And so there's a one particular moment in this particular movie which it says like, I would like to tell you that even like in this movie, he's like, wow, the main actor is asking a question from another character that, can you really remember the beginning of this dream? And it started out of nowhere, without a true beginning, you know. Just like that, even our life is just the same, you know. The so-called your life story that you born in this particular year, I want to share with you, that's a complete fiction. I will share this in a different video, and that is the truth. You think that you born in a particular year because you have a birth certificate and everything, but you can't remember any of these beginning in your life. Everything was being told to you and was being given these certificates and all that, and you just believed that's the case. But what if I tell you your whole life, the birth story is nothing but a complete fiction, which you just believe to be true? What if your mother comes and tell you that you were never born in this particular year, and in fact you were adopted by another family? Anyway, so I'm not going into that right now. I just wanted to share with you that the deeper meaning which was trying to give in this movie. And in a dream you just start imagining out of nowhere. There's no real beginning. It just starts somewhere very randomly. And that's how we ended up in here. We just show up and the whole some story started happening out of nowhere. It's because we started imagining, hallucinating this whole story just like that. And that is the truth. So I'm trying to give you this deeper meaning so that you can, when you're watching this, you will get these messages, because that would be very, very helpful. And also in the last part of the Inception movie, like he has this sign that, like he has this a particular small, the main character has a particular toy that he uses in order to figure out whether he's in the reality or whether he's in a dream. So at the last part of the movie, he doesn't even bother to see the outcome of that particular toy, whether it's spinning or whether it has collapsed, because if it's spinning indefinitely, that means that he's in the dream state. But if it collapsed, that means he's in the reality. So without even looking at the outcome, he just goes and plays with his kids. That shows like now he no longer cares whether it's the dream state or the reality anymore. And I feel that is also very, very powerful message, because the both are very much similar. You know, your waking state also nothing but another dream. But you think that that's it, that's the reality, and that is something is there out there physically for real, which is not true. You know, that's a complete belief again. And that's not the truth. You know, there's nothing physical out there somewhere, you know. Like let's say you're going to a working place. You think you're going to a working place which is outside, somewhere out there. But in reality, you don't know that you're going to a working place which is created by your own mind. And that's the truth. Okay, so the next movie I would like to share with you all is the Truman Show, which was released in 1998. And this is also a very interesting story. And in this particular movie, the main character, his entire life is a story, TV show. That means he's been adopted by a TV corporation, you know, some company, and then like his entire life is a TV show. So he's been put inside like a complete studio, and he's living there, and his entire life is being watched by thousands of people each moment. So this is a very interesting movie, because all these other characters in this particular movie, other than the main character, all other characters are just pretending. Just like even in this reality, you know, you think they are for real, but there's nothing like that. Those are nothing but shadows of your own mind, which you believe those are to be real, which is not true. Just like this Truman, like in this particular movie, the main character believes that those characters are real, and that is real life, or which is not true. Those are just another actors and actresses within this studio, and his entire life is nothing but a TV show. And your life is pretty much similar. I can't see any difference. So, and just like this movie, how do you know your family members are your family members? He also just believed those characters are for real, which is in reality, which is not true. It was complete fictional characters. You know, how do you know your family members are your family members? Your parents are your parents. Your siblings are your siblings. How do you know? So I think that is a very, very deep message. You know, like if you watch this, you would get that. And I highly recommend to watch this movie as well. And then the next movie I would like to talk about is Harvey, which was released in 1950. I don't know whether you could find this movie, but I saw that in Amazon, and I will put the link below. You can rent it and watch it. And this is also a very, very powerful movie because it shows the power of imagination. In this particular movie, the main character has an imaginary friend who is called Harvey. Yeah, that's the imaginary rabbit, which is like 6 feet tall and completely invisible. That it is his, like, he has been created. He has created this whole figure for himself, and wherever he goes to some other home, like let's say he's visiting another home, he's just introducing this figure as if that figure is there for real, which is hilarious. And it's funny to watch how the family members are reacting to this whole story. And it's like a comedy actually. I really laughed a lot watching this, and I highly recommend to watch this movie. And this movie is about how powerful your imagination. Now you believe there are other characters out there, you know. And then this person is believing that there's some imaginary rabbit is there. There's no difference, the same thing, you know. You believing in other people, and there are other people outside of you. And that man is having this imaginary friend of a rabbit. There's no difference really. And you don't know that you're also imagining these whole characters. If you, like, let's take a dream state. In the dream state, like when you're sleeping at night, in the dream state, who created all these figures? It's your own mind. You know, how many distinctions and like characters it creates. And also the dimension is being projected even in the dream state. And why not that could be this as well, like the waking state also nothing but something like that. So what I want to share with you is like your whole world is nothing but imagination. Just like this man is imagining this whole friend, this whole imaginary rabbit, and you imagining these other characters, let me tell you, there's no difference at all. So that is the truth. I highly recommend you to watch that because it gives a very powerful message. And watch it and let me know. And then the next movie is movie Matrix, which was released in 1999. And there was in this movie, even in the trailer itself, is asking that how do you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? That is a question that I would like to ask from you as well. What is the difference? Only thing is, in the dream state, there's no continuation, but in this real world, there's a little like a continuation of a story. Otherwise, you wouldn't get deceived by this illusion. Then you would have already woken up. So this movie also a very interesting movie, and there's a matrix in this movie. I would like to tell you, in this real life, the matrix is your own mind. Your mind creates the matrix. And this is a very interesting movie. I highly recommend to watch The Matrix if you haven't watched that. And that also gives a very powerful message. And I would like to tell, in reality, your mind is the matrix. There is a different matrix in there, and here it's your mind. And you need to see the whole illusionary, like a nature of this whole mind, how it really deceives you. If you figure out those ways that how your mind is deceiving you all the time, then game over. That's what you need to do in the spiritual journey. So, and also in this movie it says that there's one particular statement where it says that no one can tell about the matrix. You need to experience that for yourself. And that's what I can say is as well, like no one can really share you about enlightenment or the truth in words, because whenever someone starts talking about it, that's not it. If you want to really know the truth, then you need to experience that for yourself. You need to experience the matrix for yourself. It has to be your direct experience. So that's about it. Like, those are the movies, and honestly, these movies really changed my life. And sometimes it's about this is enough for you to wake up, because if it really shatters your world, where you could just wake up. Like, sometimes we use water in order to wake someone up. These movies could be the water, so that you can wake up from this dream. Okay, I think I've shared everything. Like, I'll put all the links below so you can check them out. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day and take